What if I told you there's a movie that tries to bottle up the magic of the late 90s? AOL, chat rooms, boy bands, but ends up turning nostalgia into a caricature. That's Y2K in a nutshell. And as someone who's lived through 1999, in all its chaotic glory, I got a lot to say about what this film gets right and where it totally misses the mark. Y2K is a movie that promised to recreate the era, but in my opinion, it failed to deliver any authentic experience. The film leaned so heavily into stereotypes that it felt less like a reflection of the time and more like a parody. Maybe I'm a little oversensitive, but from this exaggerated fashion choices to the over-the-top character archetypes, it seemed to distill the 90s into the most surface-level cliches. And I couldn't help but feel mildly offended. Not because I think the 90s were perfect, but because the portrayal lacked any nuance or authenticity that the decade deserves. For example, the movie's soundtrack was a letdown. Music defined the 90s. It was a decade of grunge and alternative rock and R&B and the rise of the pop icons, yet Y2K seemed to cherry-pick tracks that felt generic and unrepresentative of the richness of the music scene. It was a missed opportunity to tap into a goldmine of nostalgia and connect with the viewers who lived through the era. And that said, the film wasn't without its moments. The opening scene with the unmistakable chime of AOL instantly took me back to those nights spent waiting for the dial-up connection to finish. But moments like these remind me why nostalgia is such a powerful tool in storytelling. And unfortunately, those glimpses were overshadowed by the movie's uneven tone. Was it a satire, a horror comedy, a celebration of the 90s? It tried to be all of these at once, and in doing so didn't quite succeed at any. But let's talk about why this matters. Movies like Back to the Future and Dazed and Confused have successfully captured the essence of a decade without relying solely on stereotypes. They embrace the complexities of their time periods and while still telling compelling stories. That's where Y2K stumbles. Instead of celebrating the quirks and the culture of the 90s, it reduces them to punchlines. And if you're looking for a more genuine 90s experience, I suggest pairing Can't Hardly Wait for a dose of teen comedy with a classic horror film like Scream. Together, they showcase the humor and the edge that defined a decade without oversimplifying it. I walked away from Y2K feeling disconnected. While it had its moments, the film didn't capture the 90s I remember. The one filled with creativity, culture shifts, and the soundtrack that defined a generation. But if you've seen Y2K, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Did it resonate with you, or did you feel the same disconnect I did? Let me know in the comments, and if you're enjoying these discussions, be sure to like and subscribe, and stick around for more. Thanks for joining me on this film journey, and keep being real.
I get knocked out, but I get up again.